told you I was very unhappy with my call with President Putin, and it just seems like he wants to go all the way and just keep killing people. No good. It's not good. I wasn't happy with it. I think he's worried about sanctions. I do think he's very worried about sanctions. And, we're determining that the Senate, as you know, has put in big sanctions, very big sanctions. Yeah, we had a good call. We talked about different things, and we had a very good call. I think a very, very strategic call. Well, we've been helping them, and we'll continue to help them. It's a pretty tough situation. We'll see what happens. I told you I was very unhappy with my call with President Putin, and it just seems like he wants to go all the way and just keep killing people. No good. It's not good. I wasn't happy with it.
Mr. President, are there any updates on the negotiations on the TikTok deal?
Yeah, we pretty much have a deal. Now we're going to go and ask. I think we're going to start Monday or Tuesday talking to China, perhaps President Xi or one of his representatives. But we pretty much have a deal on TikTok. But we think we probably have to get it approved by China. Not definitely, but probably.
How confident are you that China will agree to that deal?
I'm not confident, but I think so. President Xi and I have a great relationship, and I think it's good for them. I think the deal is good for China, and it's good for us. And for us, it's money. We make a lot of money if the deal goes through.
Are you planning to meet with President Xi? Are you planning to go meet with China?
Well, I was asked to go there. Yeah, he asked me if I'd go, and he would likewise come here. We get along very well. We always have gotten along well.
President, America said that they want to go to the UN and have the UN force the United States to finish the damage done by the UN. What is your response to that?
You're going to have to say that again because you're being blurred out.
That Iran wants to have the UN force the US to pay for the damages that were done by the strike that the US did.
I think it's pretty ridiculous. Yeah, I would say maybe very ridiculous. Go ahead, please.
Mr. President, Putin has not agreed to a ceasefire. Do you think he's mocking you?
No, I don't think he is. I think he's worried about sanctions. I do think he's very worried about sanctions. And, we're determining that the Senate, as you know, has put in big sanctions, very big sanctions.
Patriot missiles go into Ukraine.
Well, they need them for defense. I mean, I don't want to see people killed, and they're going to need them for defense. They're amazingly effective. We knocked out 14 out of 14. That's pretty amazing. If you think of it, it's almost incredible. But we knocked out 14 out of 14. So they're going to need something because they're being hit pretty hard.
Are you going to send them, though? Are you going to send more?
Yeah, we might. We're looking at it.
On tariffs, Mr. President, why are they only coming into effect in August?
Well, I'd probably start them on August 1st. Well, that's pretty early, right? I mean, because we're talking about, so when do you think they should come into effect? Sooner? I don't know how they could be sooner. We waited about a 90-day period. We probably had 90 days or so, and really much longer than that because we've been looking at this for years. I've been looking at it for a long time. I can tell you every single country, and I can tell you every single deficit that we have and they have. I've been looking at it for many years, frankly, and I think it's ridiculous that countries were able to get away with so much. I had a great call with the German Chancellor. He's a strong guy, very good man, had a great victory. No, we did talk about it, though, and he feels, they have to be protected. He's a strong guy and smart, very smart man.
Mr. President, are you confident that you'll be able to find an end to the fighting in Ukraine?
That's an interesting question. We have with India and with Pakistan and in Africa, as you know, with the Congo, Rwanda, Serbia, Kosovo, and so many others. We've found we've helped Egypt with, as you know, their next door neighbor, where the water is being taken from the Nile. We've helped a lot of countries. The Ukraine situation, that's a Biden deal. It's not a Trump deal. I'm trying to get it finished off, settled, and we'll see. I don't know. I can't tell you whether or not that's going to happen.
Is it a priority?
Yeah, I'd like to see it happen. I don't want to see 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 soldiers killed every week. And you have other people, but for the most part, so far it's been mostly soldiers. And they're Ukrainian soldiers, and they're also Russian soldiers. But it's 5,000 souls, and they're being killed every single week. So it's really higher than that now.
Do you expect any trade deals this weekend, Teresa?
Yeah, I do. I think I'll probably send out 10 or 12 letters.
Mr. President, in addition to the letters, do you think you'll be able to reach deals with the European Union or India?
I think that letters are better for us. I've said that all along because you have hundreds of countries. You know, you have over 200 countries, and you can't sit down with 200 countries. I think the letters are better. I think a simple tariff is simpler than and better than sitting down and working 15 different things. You know, with the UK we did that, and it was great for both parties. With China we did that, and I think it's very good for both parties. We have India coming up, and with Vietnam we did it, but it's much easier to send a letter saying, listen, we know we have a certain deficit, or in some cases a surplus, but not too many. And this is what you're going to have to pay if you want to do business in the United States. And it's a tremendous amount of money that would be coming to us.
Why are you so much tougher on Iran than Russia?
No, I think I'm tougher on Russia than I am on Iran, actually. If you remember Nord Stream 2, you never heard that term until Trump came along, right? And, I closed it, and that was the biggest economic development deal they've ever done. Then Biden opened it, but then it got closed. But Biden opened it. No, I think I'm tougher on Russia than I was on almost any other country.
Would you like to see Patrick Reed make the Ryder Cup?
Yeah, I think he's great. Patrick Reed, he's great.
Mr. President, have you threatened Putin with sanctions to him personally?
We talk about sanctions a lot, yeah.
What does he say?
I would say he's not thrilled with it, but, he's been able to handle sanctions, but these are pretty biting sanctions. No, we talk about sanctions a lot. And he understands that it may be coming, and, he's a professional.
It may be coming.
Yeah, maybe coming, sure.
Have you decided on what your next international trip might be?
With who? With what?
Have you decided on what your next international trip might be?
Yeah, it changes a lot. We get these emergencies. I'm putting out fires all over the place. Talking about my next international trip. We're putting out fires all over the place. And so it's, changing. But we're planning to go to Europe. We've been invited to Turkey. I've been invited, frankly, to every country. And we had a tremendous success in NATO. As you know, they've agreed to put up more than $1 trillion. They took it from 2%, but they weren't paying 2%. They were paying less to 5% where they're paying. And that's a big deterrent. That was a great thing they did. I have a great relationship with almost all of the nations.